Hey YouTube, Derek here with another awesome wind whirler video. We're back at it with another unboxing. We've got the Ironman Vintage Collection Legends here, at least half of them anyways, the ones I was looking to get. I think I can do without the rest of the wave here, but for me, the particular three figures have been long awaited. I mean, this, I'll get into it more here, but this Model 20 Ironman has been the armor I've wanted for so freaking long. It's basically the Ironman I was introduced to back in the 2000s when I was just a kid. And the She-Hulk, an awesome upgrade. I mean, if I've watched any of my, Avengers stop motion or any of my old collection updates, I had the box set, A-Force box set She-Hulk for a long time, and I was interchanging heads with the Savage She-Hulk, or I guess the repaint since then. But having this new one with the updated articulation, and this cool clean costume from this is just like her classic era, I guess. So I'm pretty stoked on that, and amazing head sculpt there, but we'll get more into that in a sec. And then of course we got the Golden Avenger classic freaking Iron Man armor, and what's even cooler about that one is he comes with the interchangeable head that I really wanted that head, but I'm pretty satisfied as far as my classic Iron Man goes with the 80th anniversary Iron Man, the gold look. So I wasn't looking to get the 20-year anniversary Marvel Legends Toy Biz boxed one, so I skipped that. So I'm happy I got another opportunity at getting that head sculpt. I like when Hasbro does that, repackages those head sculpts. It's how I end up getting that Hank Pym head, so I'm just so excited. But I think we should just get right into it here. I think first figure I want to start with is probably going to be the Model 20. Like I said, I've been so awaiting that. This will probably be a long video. We're going to go and do a lot of comparisons. I'm going to, put teams together, and of course there's always the little stop motion shorts that I like to pepper in as well. So let's have some fun. All right, so we're just going to move She-Hulk, and we'll move the Golden Avenger Classic Mark 1 V2, or I'm not really sure what they call it, but here we have my Model 20. I mean, it's debatable. People say it might not be the Model 20. It could be the 21 or 22. I don't really care. I mean, for me, this is modern Iron Man. Like, this is what I always knew him as growing up, was the modern armor. Of course, they had the Extremis armor and then the Bleeding Edge, which basically took it to the next level with, like, nanotech and stuff. But for me, this is kind of like the last, like, analog great armor that he had. And no, I'm really excited about it. My box is a little bit crunched. I think it came in like one of those Amazon box sets. It's also covered in cat hair too. Just apologize for that. But no, I mean, it's crumpled a little bit here, but the figure does look undamaged, so they've done a good job at designing these boxes apparently. But yeah, we have sort of the product image there, or I'm not really sure, concept art. And up at the corner there, we have a little bit of read-up on Iron Man, so let's actually have a quick look at that. With Stark Tech wreaking havoc in the wrong hands, Iron Man dons a new high-tech suit designed to fight the evils of the world. Very cool, and this particular art style, too, is very reminiscent of the era as well. I forget who that artist is, but definitely spot something I recognize there. Of course, this is a pretty dope vintage-looking box. I mean, I don't actually think I ever collected figures at the point when they had this Iron Man box here from the old 90s. Maybe I might have had some Spider-Man ones, but I definitely don't think I had these classic Iron Man. So it's kind of not as nostalgic for me. More those Toy Biz boxes are more nostalgic, but that's perfectly fine. Okay, so enough talking here. I'm just gonna go right into it. We're gonna crack this guy open, and we're gonna get my first impression here. So I think we're gonna go from the bottom here. It's gonna be easiest to get through. Okay, that. Oh, careful there, don't destroy the thing. Pop this open. Oh, this will probably slide right out. There it is. Beauty. Okay. Cool little box. It didn't damage the box at all, which is pretty rare. Let's keep that back there. Toss those little product information. All right, so here we have. I'm so stoked that they brought back the glass window and the clamshell. Just way better than their whole little baggy thing they were doing. You know, where you can't see the figure. Here, I got a nice version of it. You know, some awesome effects. So we're just gonna pop them right out. We're gonna get my first impression. So let's get through the painful parts. Okay, awesome. Let's put that down back there, and we shall get our first impressions. Let's take a look here. Bring my light in a little bit more. Holy crap, man! Right out of the box, smooth as something that's smooth. This is very smooth as butter. There's not many joints that need to be popped, which is nice. Oh, maybe that one elbow joint. Of course, this kind of plastic they use for the Ironman, this is sort of tried and true. We've had a lot of Ironman sort of with this. They're still kind of using the base mold, but oh, this looks totally different though. They've actually gone with shit. That's pretty sweet. So from what it looks like, is they've got this diaphragm joint, which I really like. Like, look how kind of expressive that is. I love this design here with this sort of, I don't know, checkered or overlapping plating here. Like, this has always been one of my favorite designs. Like, and this here too, like, I really love that. Look at that. And look how articulated it is. These things, his little energy packs on the side, look like they don't really impact the articulation. They don't impact the articulation at all, which is great. These fins look awesome on the back here. I always love the fins. You know, it's basically gives them a little bit of, I don't know, I like to think of them as either solar panels slash flying stabilizers slash maybe they help them with flying in the upper atmosphere kind of thing, like low Earth orbit kind of stuff. He obviously has more deep space armors, but this armor was like kind of the high tech, and I think it sort of incorporated a lot of the older figures effects into one. I mean, they got the gold is so awesome. I mean, the gold that they've been using on all these Iron Man armors of late has been just so awesome, so standing out. I'm not a big fan of the yellow versions that they've been coming out, so I've been kind of skipping a lot of those, but anything with this nice bright gold and like the shiny red armor is just, it pops, man. That's the best. Freaking love that. I love the boot design too. For some reason, this feels just very like early 2000s, having sort of this thicker kind of bottom to the. It's almost like if he was wearing pants, like that kind of thicker style that they had in the 2000s. So it's kind of a cool callback how that kind of looks. But it really does seem awesome. These boots have like this great grip to it here on it as well. I really think that's awesome. One thing I have noticed just right away is, so he has these nice little yellow lights here on these, I guess, yeah, this would be lights, right? Kind of like the arc reactor. And so he's got sculpted versions of those here, here, and here. And they didn't put any yellow paint there or shiny paint, whatever. I might need to just double check maybe some reference photos, but I'm pretty sure those are supposed to glow as well. So that would maybe be a slight gripe, but I mean, very, very minuscule in the grand scheme of things. Like, this figure in general, I feel like is pretty flawless, just out of the package. He's got the hip, I forget what that's called there. It's the bicep, swivel, no, it's the butterfly joints. So he's got the butterfly joints here, which is kind of a new thing. I haven't seen that on any other new Iron Man figure. I think that's also still a callback to the old Toy Biz one. Just seems like Hasbro is just priding themselves on just upping and basically improving on all the famous best Toy Biz figures, because obviously they released a similar armor to this back in the Toy Biz days, and it did not hold up in the same way as this one does. Like, to be honest, it was very flat colored. It didn't have the shine. Like, this blows it out of the water, but at the time it was really cool, and you could remove the faceplate and it would have Iron Man there, which that might have been a cool little, you know, add-in. But I mean, if all my biggest gripes with this figure are just like, oh, I wish they added more to it, then they've done a good job. And doesn't mean they can't just, like, you know, repackage this with some of that extra stuff one day as well. I feel like these figures are getting to the point where, like, there's not much else they can do to improve on them other than just repackaging them with more accessories. And I've even found myself like having done that already. Like there's a Beast figure that I'm just exactly the same figure, but just came with more accessories. So I sold the old Beast and bought the new one just to get those accessories. And I mean, I don't mind. I mean, I like how they created their standard for these figures. I think there is a bit of a ceiling they're gonna reach with these, and I think we're pretty much there. You know, like these figures have become some of the best versions, I think, of these characters in toy form. And so I'm really stoked about this. And yeah, man, it's just such a good design. This armor is so iconic, and just really was one of the major bases for the movie armor as well. Like this and the Extremis armor, like it was somewhere in between there. Because I actually remember having the old movie Ironman armors from back in the day, and like if you watch my older stop motions, you see I would have them. But this right here is a straight up what those Ironman toys had. It was this extended piece here. I know I've seen some other reviews of this figure where they kind of wish that you know, even though this is the design in the comics, like they could have just shortened it so it wouldn't hinder the articulation. But it is what it is. I mean, I like that it is accurate, and as far as, you know, not being able to get just a straight arm, you know, it's not the worst thing. Here you can still kind of have them aiming it, but no, I'm still I'm very impressed with this armor. I love this design, and yeah, I'm thinking we should mess around with some of these accessories here. I'll do a little bit more posing and we'll jump back, but no, this is going to be crazy. We're going to have some fun here with some of the comparisons as well. Got a lot of early 2000s characters that I want to kind of pin up here with this version of Iron Man. So let's jump back in a second here. All right, so he comes with you know, a set of interchangeable hands here. We got the open ones and the closed fist ones. Obviously they look awesome. I think with most figures these days, it's kind of a must to get the open and closed hands. It just really gives you so much more options. I remember back in the day just how you have one open hand, one closed hand, and that's it. That you're stuck with that, and it really limits the, you know, especially with just kind of still sort of relaxed poses like this. It's good to have these options here for the same hand on both sides, but also to, you know, change it up a bit. So it's really cool. I'm glad they've really set the standard here. Like, I really think that Hasbro Marvel Legends is probably one of the best and most accessible toy lines for action figure collectors there is, honestly. I don't think really any other company comes close. I mean, there's some crazy expensive imports that are obviously majorly detailed, but like, they're fucking expensive, and they tend to feel pretty like delicate, which I don't really like. Legends, they're thick, they're hardy, they're, you know, they've got some weight to them. You know, if you're a kid, you're probably gonna throw this around, and you're likely not gonna have to worry about it breaking on the first couple plays, right? You're gonna be good. For a collector, I mean, I imagine this figure's gonna last me a really long time, because I'm going to take a really good care of it. But I mean, it is really, really cool what they've done. So he also comes with these blast effects here, which we've seen before. They usually come with like this little extra piece that slots on here that's kind of just a shorter little spit out of it. But for some reason they didn't include it in this set. I don't really know why, but I mean, in a way, this is kind of cool. I like that these are like sort of like intense jets, you know, and I almost want to repurpose these and use them on my stealth armor. I think this would actually look pretty cool on the stealth armor, you know, the classic stealth armor. So I might mess around with that here in this video, but we'll see. But no, right away, I mean, this figure has it all, man. It's so detailed and it's so unique too. I can't gush more about this figure. You guys are probably getting sick of this, but no, we'll keep messing around here. Let's switch out the hands, and we'll pop those effects in and have some fun with that here. Okay, so I was just interchanging the hands again, and apparently these gauntlets pop right off. That is pretty cool. I didn't expect that at all. But yeah, that's just like a separate piece that just slips on there. And I freaking think that's awesome. I mean, I definitely want to do some interchangeable stuff. Put maybe just some, flesh hands on there, and pop on the Tony Stark head, and maybe just have him like hanging out, still in the armor. So like it's kind of cool that they've done this, and you can have the whole gauntlet out too, as like a separate prop now too. You can mess around with. I bet this could even slip onto. One of the civilian clothed ones. I'm thinking right away J. Jonah Jameson, just because he doesn't have the sleeves. That would probably slip right on there, and I'm definitely going to be doing that. That's so cool. Okay, but we'll keep switching these out here. All right, now that I have these blast effects plugged in here, I'm definitely starting to feel the hindrance of this articulation here. It is looking a little bit silly having them so high up like that. And there is definitely a gap here in it, which looks a little bit funny too. So, I mean, it is what it is. I'm not gonna... It's one of the least things I have to worry about. I feel like with this figure, I mean, this is what it is. I also have other blast effects I can pop in here from older Ironman figures, so I'm not super worried about that. But I mean, it just does look a little bit funny trying to get these blast things going. But I mean, I guess maybe they work a little bit better if he's just using them for flight. Maybe that's more what they were intending for these, is for them just to be his flying jets. Yeah, right. I mean, now that that's kind of plugged in there, it looks okay. I mean, there's definitely better effects, and if you've got older Ironmans, then you can definitely mess around. I mean, if this is your first Iron Man figure, well, that's awesome. I'm happy for you. This is a great first one to get, but I guess these effects are just, they're passable. I wouldn't say they're the greatest versions of them. We've gotten some pretty cool versions, but I think we can work with this. And I mean, if you have a flight stand, then that's probably going to make this even better. But yeah, definitely works better as sort of the flying jets than it does as his, trying to aim it forward and blast it. But yeah, it is what it is. Now we'll do some other unboxes here. We're going to get the other ones opened up, and we'll save the comparisons for a little bit later on here. We'll get some other figures out and get them all lined up. So yeah, let's go.
Looks like we got company.
Indeed, sir.
Jarvis, let's take him for a ride. Full power to thrusters.
Okay, now we're on to the next figure here. We got this She-Hulk. She's literally just barely fitting into this package. They've got her feet kind of like dipping into these, I don't know, whatever you call these little dipped areas. Once again, the box is a little bit crumpled on this, but like they do hold up, and the figure does look like it's undamaged in there, so that's pretty cool. Been looking forward to this. She-Hulk is probably one of my favorite of... She-Hulk's probably one of my favorite of the Marvel superheroes. Just in general, I've always thought she was the coolest of the ladies of the Avengers. Was pretty bummed out about the She-Hulk TV show. I mean, a lot of people were pretty like right off the bat were, the animation wasn't super great, like her CGI. I thought it was okay. My biggest issue with it was just the story, basically. Like, I thought the casting was pretty good. That girl who played Jennifer Walters was pretty cool. I mean, she was all right as well in the role. It's just, I think it just came down to like, yeah, the writing was pretty weak. The stakes were pretty low, and I think they took the fourth wall breaking and just went a little overboard with it, I like the moments that felt kind of like Ferris Bueller, where she's like talking to the camera, but the way at the end where she just literally, and spoilers if you haven't seen it, but the way she just like jumps out of the Netflix thing and goes to Marvel Studios and like walks into the boardroom and like, it's just like, hey, this sucks. Why are we doing this? And then they're like, oh, well, like this is just how we're doing things now. And then, like, for some reason, shows these days, like, feel like as long as they call out the bullshit things that movies and shows do nowadays, they can just get away with just doing it anyways. Like, that's okay. Oh, you know this is stupid and annoying, but we're gonna just do that anyways. And it's just like, what the fuck? Like, why are you calling it out and pointing out how stupid it is and then just doing it anyways? Like, it feels like some kind of humiliation ritual that they're pulling on us, and I just fucking, it drives me insane. But I mean, we should have gotten like the leader in it. We should have gotten like, leader should have been behind the whole thing instead of this fucking dork that they had in there. And we should have gotten Hulk and Abomination actually kicking ass against each other. Like, I would have loved to actually see them beat each other up. I love the idea of him like faking reforming, like the Abomination. Like, you think he's reformed, but he's kind of putting on this like show, and then he's actually still a fucking villain. Like, I thought that was a great idea, but why the fuck was it such a weak thing? And then Scar at the end was just like, why? You know, like, Scar should have been this awesome, epic, like, battle through space, maybe him trying to return to his father, but instead he just shows up like it was no big deal. Bruce just went for a little intergalactic space ride and brought him back. Like, fuck, that was so, like, anticlimactic, you know? Like, it should have been something epic for him to meet his father. Like, instead it was just kind of like another throwaway cameo that they're just never gonna fucking address again. But anyways, I've gone too far into the fucking review of that show. We should go into the review of this action figure here, which I think is a great version of the character. I love always these images on the back here. Let's take a quick look here at her little bio read-up. I love that they brought these back. They got rid of them for a while, but we're back at it with these. With incredible strength and passion for justice, Jennifer Walters fights evil as both a lawyer and the gamma-powered superhero She-Hulk. Love it. Love it. So obviously, everybody knows my first introduction. Everybody knows if you've been following the channel for a while, my first introduction to She-Hulk was the Hulk animated series back in the day. Freaking love that series so much. Just got a special place in my heart. So, but she was so cool in it. She's like sassy, she's smart, she's sexy, everything you want her to be. She's strong as fuck, and like, it's just like, I wish we would have gotten that version of her in the She-Hulk show. We just didn't, so it's a bit of a bummer, but let's get into this. Let's open this figure up. Okay, let's get this going here. So, just like last time, I'm going to try and open it from this bottom part. There seems to be some tape here. This makes it a little difficult. Here we go. Got to get that sweet spot. It's always the bottom here where it's easiest to open these boxes up. Cut that back. This right there. That should be enough. Let's sort this out. Whoa. Come on. There we go. Oh, shit. Put that back over here. Toss that out. And here she is, the She-Hulk. Holy crap. Damn, just gonna be blending in with my green screen. Wow, her feet are just hanging off of this thing. That's so hilarious. That's how it was designed. And this busted up gun, that's such a cool prop, man. I love that. Alright, let's pop her out of here to go through the painful part. Okay, that's out. Here's the gun popped out as well, but we'll just get our first impressions here of the She-Hulk. Wow, okay, already, just like the Ironman, this figure is like smooth as butter. It's just easy to fucking pose. There's not really any lock joints, and we're not dealing with any loose joints either. Very just solid plastic figure here. This hair, wow, really so many nice paint detailing in there. That's really cool. The black and the green. Wow. They got her smile perfect too. She's so like cheeky kind of there. Super muscular. Obviously she's got the pinless. Oh man, that is really cool. The hair, it actually doesn't hamper her articulation at all. This is great. Look at that design. Man, they need to get more like this is what they need to do when they're coming up with the hair for a lot of these female figures, because they tend to have like, you know, bad articulation because, or they're super hindered because of the hair. Like, I always prefer when they do these, like, these kind of styles of hair. Like, Or if you get like one with an interchangeable head that has like flowing hair, and then, you know, like the Storm figure they put out. Man, she is so cool. Just like a powerful figure. Holy crap. Well, they've done a fantastic job. Like, this is a vast improvement from the A-Force box set one. That one was so rickety. It could barely stand. This one doesn't just feel solid. You know, it's got good sized feet here to just like stomp down, and then, yeah, this is sturdy as hell. That's what you want, I guess. Sturdy woman here. Okay, that's hilarious. All right, and here she is in all her glory. So I've got the fist hands here interchanged onto her, and it's really cool actually. Like, what's funny is, like, usually this is painted on here, but these are actually little gauntlets that pop out just like on the Ironman figure. Like, look how freaky that looks. But for some reason these pop right off. That's very interesting. I've never seen that before. So they're obviously trying new things. Maybe that's, you know, because this body is repurposed for some gauntlet wielding chick, so maybe that's why. But no, I mean, this is an incredible figure. They've done such a good job. I mean, and what's awesome is they've got this great base now that they can make a whole bunch of her different costumes now. Like, another thing too is, like, I think there is some reuse possibly from the Savage She-Hulk, which I'll bring that out to compare here. I think she might have the same legs and possibly the same maybe the same body here. I'm not 100% sure. The arms are definitely new, and the feet are obviously different than the other one. But yeah, no, this is something entirely new here, I think. And just getting double jointed elbows on these female figures finally is just taking it to the next level. Like, these, it's crazy for how long they just didn't do that. Man, these two figures together is great. Honestly, I love that they came in the same wave. Honestly, like, what's kind of special about these two particular characters together, especially with Iron Man in this armor, is one of my first comic books that I actually got as a kid was the Red Hulk. I think it was Red Hulk number 1 and 2, and issue 2. It might be 3. It might be 2. One of those has like a fight basically where the Red Hulk just destroys like a shield helicarrier, and it's during the period where Iron Man is director of shield, and like She-Hulk is like helping him out on this day too. Like, they're kind of close at this time, and just a big fight, and like they don't know it's the Red Hulk yet, and it's like pretty awesome like showdown. But I remember specifically like this Iron Man, I think he might have been maybe in this armor, maybe it was the Extremist, but anyways, it's just, this is very iconic for me, and I'm just stoked to have these figures. And honestly, that first introduction run to the Red Hulk was an awesome series, and I'm really bummed out they're just shoving that into this upcoming Captain America movie. I wish that was just its own separate Hulk movie, like, and that was like the plot was like this mysterious Hulk, like Red Hulk appearing. So, but I don't know. I mean, like, there's so much drama around that movie. I just wonder if it's even, you know, and Marvel has been in the best shape lately. So I'm just kind of like cautious with everything. You know, who the fuck knows how they're gonna either convolute or you know, mess up the next character and whatnot, or next famous plot line. I feel so burned after Secret Invasion. It just felt like such a disappointment, you know. But what's not a disappointment is these two figures. Let's do some more comparisons here. Let's pull those out. Okay, and here are our two She-Hulk comparisons. We've got sort of the savage She-Hulk, and we have the sensational She-Hulk here. And yeah, I actually really love how these two kind of pair with each other here. Honestly, it's kind of like they're different counterparts of her. I mean, a part of me wishes that the greens were a little bit closer, because then it'd be a little bit easier for the swapping to kind of look a little bit better. But I mean, I'm still going to try the swapping and see how it works. But I mean, as far as like parts reusage, now that I have them next to each other, I feel like maybe it's the hands. The hands might be the same. that might be the one same thing, because everything else, the arms got to be different. Maybe the shoulders are the same, and maybe just the upper torso part here. But obviously, there's the jean. But no, I mean, this is a pretty fresh, brand new character here, new figure. I mean, this is just awesome. I love this character so much, and it's great to see them depict her in such an awesome way. I'm wondering if we will get like her more modern costumes with this particular body, and it'd be cool to see her in, yeah, the 2000s era one she had. Or I know people are all probably wanting like a new Fantastic Four outfit, which this would be super easy. It's just literally a repaint on this because it's a skin tight outfit. I think for the newer kind of onesie that she wears in the in newer comics, it would have to be probably a little sculpted on for it to be most accurate. But we'll see what they end up doing. Let's do a couple swaps here and see how that looks. Okay, actually, I mean, the color is definitely a little bit off, but I actually love the look of these different head sculpts on here. I mean, I know I had this crazy one here earlier, but I just wanted to take a second and swap this calm one on here. There's something about the wild big hair here that just kind of really works with the ripped Savage She-Hulk outfit. I really like that a lot, and I almost feel like having the light green on this one actually looks decent. Maybe it's like she's wearing some foundation or something. But yeah, for some reason it's a little bit more noticeable on this particular one. I'm not sure what that's all about, but I mean, it does work. I just, yeah, like again, I just wish that the coloring was just a little bit closer. I mean, I wish they would have thought of that, but maybe they were just, I don't know. And I mean, as far as the green goes, I feel like I do like this more limeish, lightish green than sort of this mint green over here a little bit. So if only it was all sort of that same bright mint green. I'm always about the bright colors with these action figures, you know, like Iron Man's got 2 She-Hulk babes. Just kidding. We're gonna get them out of here. Let's switch on this head and see how that looks. Okay, there's something about this angry head here now that looks a little bit better on this body than the sort of the calm head. It's not too bad. I almost think that green is pretty on point there. Damn. I mean, the flowing hair in the back looks so cool. It's a little bit shorter, right, than the super long, this super long look here. But even just looking at her from the back like that looks cool with the silhouette of the giant hair. Yeah.
What was that? I didn't hear anything. Oh my god! Oh my god!
Okay, so we've got our last action figure here to unbox today. It's the Model 1 Gold armor. So also I like to refer to it as the Golden Avenger armor. So basically he was rocking this when the Avengers were formed. So in the first issues of it, he's got this sick gold version of the first appearance armor. With this, I don't know what you would call that. Is that like a skirt or something? I don't know, but you can tell they were going with the Tin Man vibe, which is kind of funny looking back. But no, I mean, this is a great figure. I've actually got the original release of this in the silver. Awesome figure in hand, but of course, gotta be able to complete your armory and have these 2 variants of each other. And also they've finally basically put out a perfect set of first appearance Avengers now too, with that most recent release of Giant Man and Wasp. So that's so cool. But let's get into it here. It comes with a couple cool accessories. Obviously there's the awesome like repacked in head sculpt. I know they released that in an earlier figure. It's good to get that now. Obviously here's the product image there on the back. When Tony Stark decides that Iron Man needs an outfit upgrade, he faces off against the hypnotic Gargantuous wearing golden armor. Okay, cool. So I guess this armor its first appearance wasn't in the Avengers, but interesting. That's cool.
So, I mean, it's pretty neat, obviously. I mean, we're familiar with this retro card already at this point. This is a third figure unboxing, so we're just going to go right into it. Obviously, start from the bottom here. It's the easiest way to get into these kind of boxes. Tear that back. Out. There we go. Okay, actually, I like to keep that here. It's kind of a cool little display to have in the back. Awesome. Just kind of aim her down here. Toss that. Sweet. Okay, so he's literally just ready to walk out of the package here, so we might as well get that going. Holy crap. Okay, we'll put that over there for now. Alright, first impressions of this version of this character. One thing I noticed right away is they've actually painted the eyes, and there's like that flesh color in there, so that's really cool. It's hard to kind of pick it up, I think, without my light being proper here. Yeah, there they are. Pretty cool. That's a nice detail that we didn't get with the original release here. Okay, and this is like kind of a pliable material. It actually looks like it's attached to his belt. So that's actually a really cool way to, implement or incorporate that. Of course, there's this little delicate freaking antenna. Man, that just freaks me out. I feel like I'm gonna snap that thing. This armor is like heavy duty, like this is the real Iron Man, like big old honking crushing boots, and you got like these kind of bolts along here. Like that is so cool. This thing is just like legit heavy duty. And they did a great way, they did great when they did the movie version. Like I feel like that's a pretty accurate depiction of it. At least taken onto the screen. They got the helmet really well. So that Iron Man 1 movie really is fucking fantastic and just definitely sets the tone for the rest of the MCU. But yeah, man. One thing I feel like articulation-wise would have improved is if this was rotating. I think that would have been a lot better. Okay, so we got all the accessories out here. I've interchanged the hands, and I noticed something right off the bat that's a little bit different than the original release for this. Is they didn't do anything for the repulsors in the hands. There's no paint detailing on it, nothing. It's just all gold. Very, very surprising because, they did it for the other one.
Avengers, assemble.
Metal Man, get out of Hulk's way!
Oh, that's just great. I think we gotta work on this whole team thing. Yeah.
Okay, and here it is, the iconic first Avengers lineup. We finally have it here in 6-inch form, and it is looking awesome. This is great. We've got a couple old staples here, like the 2-pack Hulk back there, the 80th anniversary Thor. They still haven't topped those two figures, I think. They're still my favorite versions. I know you can get a couple extra head sculpts with the new that new Hulk figure, but I'm still pretty satisfied with this one here. And sticking the Golden Avenger next to these two here, and we did just get this Wasp in that 2-pack with the Giant Man. Fucking amazing figure too. Like these are just the peak. This is the peak for Marvel Legends right now, and being able to assemble this team here is just awesome. Like this is just super iconic. It makes me want to do a stop motion where we just start from the beginning with the Avengers here and just go from there. Or, I even kind of want to maybe incorporate, I wouldn't mind incorporating this into some kind of flashback, at least to just briefly show it off. Like, I just love that this lineup is real now, that we can do this. It's awesome. Sweet. And here we have the unmasked head sculpt. I am so stoked. I really wanted this head sculpt when it was first packed in with that 20th anniversary for Toy Biz Marvel Legends, so I'm just excited that I got a second chance to get it, and it's on a figure that I've wanted for a long time as well, the Golden Avenger armor. And it's just really awesome. I love having these unmasked helmets or unmasked heads. It really does give it so much more playability, takes it to the next level. And if you have any of those civilian clothes, you can pop these heads onto those casual clothes, suit bodies. There's a couple just regular coats and stuff like the Stan Lee figure. And here it's just awesome that we get to do that. We got some good unmasked head sculpts with the Ant-Man and Giant Man one here, which I swapped out for the Ant-Man here because we're in the first appearance. And there's a couple options, I think, for a helmetless Thor. If you got that Sentry figure, I've already done a video where I've swapped that out. The new Kazar head sculpt looks actually awesome, and I think would make a great unhelmeted Thor head sculpt to pop on here. So if anyone's ever done that or has that figure yet, I'd love to see a picture of it or something. I just I haven't seen anybody do it yet, but that's something I'd like to do if I could get a hold of that figure. And of course, I mean, we don't have a Bruce. We do have a Bruce Banner figure that just came out recently, but it's paired with the Grey Hulk. What I really want is like a deluxe Bruce Banner figure that has the purple pants, a button shirt with like the rolled up sleeves, and then some cool interchangeable arms where it's like a hulking arm or a half of his face is starting to hulk out, kind of like that Spider-Man Spider-Sense head that we got in the Peter Parker figure. Like, I really think they could ball out and make a really cool Bruce Banner deluxe figure. So maybe we'll get something like that. Who knows? They might pack and do another 2-pack where we get a green Hulk variant of that, lab coat version of Bruce. But yeah, I mean, you could pop off the arms and have a lab coat one that you can swap on. They've done that before, so I just really hope we get that sort of balled out Bruce Banner one day. But no, this is cool though. I like this a lot, and man, I'm gonna do some more head swaps here. I want to see what this head sculpt looks like on some of the other Iron Man figures. Cool. Now we got our Hulks paired up with each other here. Honestly, I really do think I prefer this sort of lighter green for She-Hulk than sort of that minty green that her Savage She-Hulk counterpart has. I think it looks really complimentary, and I mean, with this Hulk has amazing paint detail too, because you have sort of lighter and darker shades of green. Like, some parts of his green kind of are like closer to her shade of green. Hers is more sort of flat, kind of consistent across the board, but he has kind of these different gradients of green, and it's cool. But they definitely look cool together. I like having these Hulk weapons, which a Hulk weapon is essentially just some crushed up, bent out thing that they're just throwing around and smacking people with. So it'd be cool to get some more of these kind of pieces. Like, I don't know, maybe like a piece, like one thing that's really cool, and we've seen this in a few iterations of Hulk, where he turns like a fucking taxi into basically punching gloves. We got to see that in the Incredible Hulk movie, which I think to this day is still like the best Hulk movie and one of my favorite versions of the Hulk too. Like, I really do like that, and it sucks how kind of muted the Hulk is nowadays, but I can see them definitely doing like this big comeback moment where like the real Hulk starts fucking going rage, and we'll see him do some cool shit. Like, all the news there recently with we got the Russo brothers coming back, we got Iron Man coming back, like Robert Downey Jr. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool news. I mean, I think a lot of people expected that, when they got desperate enough, they would just offer these guys enough money to just say, fix it, fix it, fix it. So hopefully Marvel's going to go in a different direction soon. I think we're still probably going to have to get through a year of sludge. It's going to just be a couple bad projects, but something tells me that this Fantastic Four movie might be the turning point. So we're still a year. We got to get through this next year, because we're still kind of like, the turnaround for movies is about 2 years. Like, so we're kind of still going to have to wade our way through the next couple bombs, Disney Plus bombs. But then I have this really good feeling about this Fantastic Four movie. I haven't felt hopeful for Marvel in a long time. Maybe it was Deadpool and Wolverine that's kind of given that little glimmer, but it's really hard to say. Man, I am so close to completing my new Avengers here. This is so sick. I love this version of the team. Like, for me, this is kind of when I was just getting into comic books at the time, and like I really do love this version of it. I mean, I just need that Luke Cage. That's the one figure I'm missing right now, is that new Luke Cage they just announced, and with the Iron Fist 2-pack. So I've got that pre-ordered. I can't wait for that to get in.
I've actually also got a astonishing Wolverine in box right now that I have on ice. I'm going to be doing an unboxing video for that soon as well. But this plainclothes Wolverine is a nice little substitute for now. I'm really excited for that unmasked head sculpt to kind of swap out. This one is always a little intense. But yeah, once I get that Luke Cage, then friggin' sealed here. I've got an amazing new Avengers. One of my very favorite versions of this team. I love that run by Bendis, and it does evolve. It definitely, the team evolves, and it splits into two when you get Mighty Avengers, and then there's the underground New Avengers. But no, I'm definitely excited to see what what it's gonna be like when I get all these figures together. I'm gonna have to come up with a stop motion or something. I don't know. We'll see. But for now, I mean, it's so cool that we're finally getting this. We're completing two major Avengers team, the classic first appearance Avengers, and I'm about to complete the new Avengers here. So I'm just so happy, so satisfied with Hasbro and what they've been putting out. They've been giving a lot of love to that early 2000s era of Marvel. It feels like this last year with their 85th anniversary. So let's keep it up. Awesome. So here we have Iron Man with his Hall of Armors. This is awesome. I almost feel like my armory is pretty much near completion here. I've got all my favorite armors, the most iconic looking armors as well, and each one's kind of serves a purpose as well. I mean, we sort of have his like kind of obviously the development and the leveling up of each armor as it gets more and more advanced, but then you have a few utility armors here that have their own specific use, like the stealth armor, the War Machine. I would say, even though this is kind of like a midway step, I would say it's also kind of like a its own specific kind of armor with its own use, because it's more got the heavy backpack. I feel like it's more for upper atmosphere kind of flight, and it's got heavier defenses, being a sort of a bulkier look. This armor is obviously modular, so it has all the connecting pieces that come on and off of it. And then we have this here, which I feel like is his most advanced analog armor. And then we got the Extremis, which first implements all the kind of techno-bio stuff that connects to his nervous system and all that kind of thing. No, so I do feel pretty good. Like I said in my last unboxing video for Extremis here, I do feel like I still want to get that Hulkbuster armor. I think would be obviously the centerpiece. I could stick that right in the very back, and that would look awesome. And then of course, and these are two options that I would really like to see, and I've mentioned it before, but the Arctic armor and sort of a magma armor, basically one for volcanic areas. So these two sort of very specific kind of armors that would be really cool. Oh, and I guess like the aquatic armor, that's a famous one too. So just would be really cool to see all three of these very extreme environment armors kind of depicted. I know there isn't a real magma one, at least not one I could find. I've been looking in comic books and stuff. Let me know in the comments if you know if Iron Man's ever had anything that's specific to help with being in like extreme heat environments. But still, those would be kind of like the, I guess the 4 other armors that would kind of round out what I would like for my own armory. But as far as like the, the most, iconic armors, like this is really good here. I'm pretty solid with this. I mean, this is awesome. And then, like I said, this Tony Stark head is freaking awesome. It fits on there perfectly. It looks great. I mean, it's just really cool how this just looks on the shelf, basically having like these different colored versions of it, and each one's slightly different with their own tasks. So, but yeah, I'm really excited. What do you guys think? Like, what is your perfect Iron Man armory? Like, which ones would you want to have in your set, and which one would you wouldn't want there? Like for me, I'm always comic based with my collecting. I typically only collect Marvel comic based figures, so I don't really have any of the video game verse or the MCU versions of his different armors. So like for me, this is where I'm at. But what do you guys like when it comes to these? I figure I should do just a little bit of comparison between these two armors here, because they are so similar, but obviously this belt piece here is different than over here, and I kind of like that. Gives it a little bit more variance too.
This armor's cool because it has all this sweet scratch kind of paint detailing, you know, 'cause obviously he uses this to escape, his captivity. Another thing, and this is something I've already highlighted, is the eyes on this one are painted with the flesh color around it, and here it's just kind of black, which this works a little better if you're just having the helmet itself, maybe posed on the shelf or in his hand. But here I know you have to kind of cheat it so that you don't see the eyes if you have him holding it. And then another kind of big thing, and I've already noted this too. Oh, actually, I've just fucking realized that I actually thought that these were painted on the arms as well, or on the hands. So his repulsors on the hands don't actually have that same paint detailing, which for some reason I thought it did when I was looking at this one, because this one doesn't have it either on either the open or the closed hand. But no, I guess it does, or I guess it doesn't. But I mean, that would be maybe my one gripe. I mean, for me, these are honestly perfect versions of these suits. I don't think you can really top how good these versions are. Maybe there's just, like I said, the one gripe I might have is just that repulsor thing wasn't painted the same color as the middle chest piece. Sweet, and just as I thought, this arm piece does fit onto this J. Jonah Jameson body here, so you can kind of wedge it on there. It is a little bit snug, I'll be honest, and it doesn't quite fit perfectly onto the arm there, just because, as you can see, this is really tapered off there. And so if I pop this off, see, that came right out. This is so much thicker, so it really doesn't fit perfectly in there. So you can see there's quite a gap. You can kind of shove it a little bit in there. I don't know if that's a great thing you want to do with your action figures, is force something to work, but for the shot, for this thing, I wanted to at least try it. And it can just about fit in there. And it looks cool. I think you can definitely get away with that. And gives a little bit more. I mean, obviously we've been able to do just the hand swapping these figures before, but having the gauntlet on there, it really does take it to the next level, and looks quite cool. So yeah. One thing I wanted to note too is that I did try swapping this head onto the modern armor here, but there's kind of an issue with that here, because so this neck piece is also a separate ball joint down here, so it gives them a lot of head range and movement ability, but when you try to pop the head off, the neck comes with it, and I'm a little nervous about breaking that little peg down there, and also just having these two pieces. If I can find a way to pull the head off of the neck piece and pop that head on, I'm worried it's going to get stuck on there, and I don't want that to happen. So I think at the end of the day with this particular figure, I think when he did take off the helmet, the entire helmet didn't come off. It was just the faceplate that would either flip up or pull off. Same with the extremist armor over there. I think we didn't really see him just with the helmet off. It was usually just faceplate off. And so I'm not going to really kind of stress or have to try and swap these heads, because I think it makes more sense if, we eventually get just one of these heads with a faceplate, either popped up or pulling off or something like that. But I just don't want to risk breaking it, and I would kind of caution whoever gets this figure to kind of be careful with that too. Okay, and here is the jet boot accessories. So very, very cool. I like how they've incorporated the smoke effect around the the regular blaster effect here, and it does look cool. I like the fact that this older armor has just like I don't know, some kind of pollution problem or something. Like it just creates this extra carbon dioxide smoky thing, so it just kind of makes it feel a little bit even more analog and old school, these armors. So but it does look cool, and I think we've seen similar stuff before with this. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I feel like the War Machine might have came with some of these kind of parts, but they are pretty neat. And yeah, I would say that one thing, and just also to note too, those blue effects that come with the modern armor, they are missing this little extra piece here at the bottom, which that does come off somewhat. It usually does. Shit, I can't really get it off, but anyways, you can see what I mean though, right? Like normally it would have these extra blast pieces here, but it is what it is. I almost feel like this is more of a fine kind of combustion. Like, I think it would look kind of cool on this stealth armor, so I'm just gonna try that out right now. Yeah, there's something a little bit. I imagine like his normal repulsors are like a little bit louder, and then he has like these tiny little blue jet ones that maybe sound more like a little propane hiss, possibly. That's kind of just what I picture in my head. And if I ever do an animation with this, shit, man, my stealth armor's a little tough. Once again, this armor, when I opened it, it felt like it had some glue or gumminess to it, but the blue effects look pretty sick on this on this stealth armor. Yeah, that actually looks great. Well, anyways,